My name is Antonio Bavaro. My pronouns are he, they most of the time, and she when I'm in drag.
So my name is Boyd Whiskey Jack. My pronouns are, I actually don't mind any of them. He, she, they.
My name is Emmett. I am a female to male trans man, so I go by the pronouns he and him.
My name is Jeff Shalafu. I prefer he, him, his, although any pronoun works for me.
Story, my story.
As far as homosexuality went, I knew a little bit about it, and I knew that it was deemed as a bad thing.
I was like going through this really grief stage with a lot of anger and denial, or just not being able to accept what my reality was at the time.
My sort of interests and my attractions started to change.
I was still really struggling with transitioning. Like, it had been touched on, I guess, what gay and lesbian was, but I had never ever even heard the word transgender. I didn't know that people could transition.
I felt that my attraction to other guys had a direct relation to my substance use.
That's me, that's who I am. And yeah, there was peace in that, but at the same time I was like, oh my God, I can't ever do that.
The kind of rejection that I would get from people I admired because I was a drag queen was that hole was filled. The substances were poured into that.
Yeah, it was a super difficult time for me. There's a lot of stigma associated with the LGBTQ community.
For some reason, I thought this was really cool.
My addictions or my substance use started to lead to criminal behavior.
The view of God that everybody else had and the way that they represented who he was no longer something that was going to work for me. And
I remember feeling powerful and like cool and I guess even back then kind of sexy. It just felt right at the time.
Relapse is a part of my story, and
it just kind of like creeps back in on you and like kind of like pulls you under the covers of darkness and makes you want to use again.
My rock bottom was just kept getting worse and worse.
It was this comforting blanket of false hopes and misgivings.
And then I got into recovery.
I am now living life the way I've wanted to live.
I had the fortune of encountering restorative justice, which gave me the opportunity to be honest with myself.
There was something else I wasn't accessing, and I tried to access that through harder drugs.
I was using because I was ashamed to be gay.
I wanted somebody to listen to me and to hear me.
And I was told by people in my life that you are not Indigenous. So I started to build on that culture. I started to learn what Two-Spirit was.
The God that I believe in accepts people and loves people. God is love.
Just having the ability to be who I am in any context and finally say to somebody out loud that I'm gay. I'm attracted to men. Since then, my road of recovery has been quite solid. There has been some relapse since then, but I've surrounded myself with people of support.
My life it's a complete 180.
I recently just got a year sober this past December.
Now I'm kind of living that dream life. I didn't have to use anymore. I didn't have to bury that shame.
Now that I've helped myself, I feel like I'm able to help others by sharing my story.